With hit after hit after hit, there is no doubt that the world of K-dramas is bigger than ever right now. Riding off the wave of momentum from Squid Game in 2021, K-dramas will look to build upon that success in 2022. Yet surprisingly, the biggest hit of 2022 so far isn't a K-drama, it's Singles Inferno. We've already seen the finale, but we're not ready to say goodbye to this show just yet.
We've even watched the Japanese reality show Future Diary, which sees a relationship between two people entirely scripted, transformed into a genuine relationship. Check out our full reaction to the finale on Patreon when it's released. What's up, Sunday fam? Welcome back to another video on Singles Inferno. In this video, we are going to be giving you our top 5 contestants in the show.
Now, of course, this is all our opinion, but we would also love to know who makes it in your top 5 in the comments below.
So this is how it's going to work. We're both going to give our top 5s one after the other, and we're going to just discuss really briefly how we feel about each other's lists. So my number 5 is Soyun. Relatable, attractive, and honest. After my initial attraction to Jiyeon, her time in paradise with Jin Taek and willingness to help Sehun was endearing and caught my attention, even if Sehun's pride was inadvertently hurt in the process.
My number 5 is going to go with Choi Sehun. He fell hard for Jia from the very beginning and never attempted to go after anyone else. What made him very entertaining to watch was that he was all in and nothing else mattered. His stalking of Jia could be charming or just downright cringy. Whether he was pacing around waiting for Jia or hovering around Jia and Hyungjung, he certainly made you either chuckle or shake your head. Either way, some of us might find that endearing.
So the funny thing about Sehun is that you're right, he was stubborn like Sehun in terms of picking one person and going after it and not giving up, but like, he kind of did give up, right?
Did he?
He just stalked Jia. He said, he explained in the end, he was like, I just didn't want to burden you.
Right.
And so that led to him just being in the background, letting the two other guys vie for her attention.
But he did go after her in the very end, so I'm not sure if that counts as giving up, but he maybe have given up on the game,
yes,
but he just didn't give up on Jia. It was like he didn't really have any other choice at the end. I love Soyun, but unfortunately she didn't make it in my top 5 because she was very consistent from the very beginning, but in terms of entertainment value, she just didn't bring it for me.
Moving on to my number 4 is Yeon. There's nothing really wrong with this girl. I think ultimately I would have had a lot of fun being around her. She was cheerful, quirky, and supported everyone around her, and she seemed like a wonderful person. That tight body is just an added bonus.
My number 4 goes to Jintek, the master poet. If there was anyone who successfully navigated the trials and tribulations of the Inferno, it's definitely Jintek. The smooth operator made all the right moves and won his girl at the end. He made Soyun swoon after their first date in paradise, and even made her change her approach towards the end. In fact, they were the only couple that really had any physical chemistry. Foot massage, anyone?
I'd like to point out the irony that our first 2 is women, and then yours, or my first 2 is women, and yours is men. It's a funny dichotomy between our 2 lists. And Jintek, regardless of what I've said about him in the past, he is very consistent. He didn't really cause any drama, and yeah, he had the most chemistry with Soyun, and that was it. There was nothing like there was nothing extra about their relationship.
I just love Jintek because he was a one-woman man all the way through and was successful, and he was really the only one from the very beginning who had success all the way to the end. And I love Yeon. She was like what I would say the village counselor of the show.
Yeah.
But you know, as far as entertainment factor, like she absolutely right. There was nothing wrong with this girl. She does have a tight body, but like that was really it for me with the show. She was just kind of like the counselor.
I appreciated the fact that there was nothing absolutely like dramatic or controversial about her. You know, her and Junshik, they knew that they wanted each other, and then that was it. And so they, on their individual camps, just supported everyone else.
Right.
My number 3 goes to Jiyeon, my first love, so to speak. When we first started watching, she was my ideal type appearance-wise, and when I found out she was a scientific intellectual, it had me super intrigued. Ultimately, she was misunderstood, and her arc with Sehun really shined in the end.
My number 3 also goes to Jiyeon. She's cute, smart, adorable, and came across as the girl next door while also having the IQ of a neuroscientist. She was literally the perfect girl. She was no doubt caught caught in the crossfires of the show between Jintek, Soyun, and Sehun, which puts her on the list for must-watch entertainment.
There's not much to say here. I mean,
Nope.
she is kind of what you see is what you get. And like, sure, there are some comments here and there that she was like pure or she had that innocent look, but you know, I just, she was very attractive and what she did for a living was very attractive as well. And so that's why she makes it into my top 5.
Yeah, she makes it in my top 5 too, because I always thought in the very beginning, even though there was comments about her being pure and innocent, I don't think she was very much like that. Like she had the brains, she was very smart, and at the very end showed her athletic ability. And so I definitely don't think she was really that pure.
I mean, she studied in the University of Toronto, so she has some Western influence in her. My number 2 is Jiyeon, the killer. If looks could kill. Personally, not my type, but she played the game magnificently. If 3 people fighting over you is not evidence enough, I don't know what is. She had Sehun wrapped around her finger, Hyunjung subservient like a puppy, and Hyunsung pining for her as some part of unfulfilled fateful meeting, and all she had to do was look good and speak with her eyes.
My number 2 is also Jiyeon, but you pretty much said everything that I'm about to say. The silent assassin, the girl that could kill with her eyes. She single-handedly melted the men from the very beginning. If there was anyone in Inferno that got the most from doing literally the least, it's our girl Jiyeon.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, every time someone wanted to talk to her, she went there and she was like, yeah, you want me, I know. That's all she did, really.
I know. But she's the silent assassin. She's the silent killer. Her looks could kill. She melted everyone. And it was pure entertainment because the 3 guys that was going after her, they were entertaining, just watching them mope around, waiting for her to come home.
Yes.
And that was really it.
And my number 1 spot goes to Sehun, the surprise victor of it all, our shonen. He went from being the shady contestant to the prideful, stubborn one, to the idiot who just could not take a hint. He surprised us with the reluctance to give up on Jiyeon, and it paid off. In the end, he was thoughtful, kind, and understanding, and walked away with the girl he wanted, and never backed down. Not the way I would approach things, but luckily, Jiyeon fell for that and ended up appreciating it more than we thought she would.
It's no surprise to me as well. Number 1 goes to Sehun, perhaps the most controversial contestant in Inferno, or just the most entertaining to watch. He takes the top spot because it was definitely his show. We might as well call it Sehun's Inferno. From start to finish, it was his journey that made us look forward to the next episode just to find out what would happen. He successfully hit rock bottom and skyrocketed to the top at the very end. He was also responsible for sending us some nostalgic K-drama vibes when Itaewon Class's theme song, Start Over, ended episode 6.
신지연입니다.
Now, when it came to 5 and 4, we had a little bit of a separation, but our top 3 was very, very similar. And Sehun, it's no surprise that he is number 1. He is the one that kind of like diverted all expectations.
Absolutely.
You know, I went in, he was like, yo, this guy's super shady. And then when he was pining over Jiyeon and Soyun had to like give him a pep talk, I was like, yo, just like give up. She's not interested. Like that movie, she's just not that into you.
Yeah.
And then, you know, the moment, the 3rd time I pick Jiyeon and we were like, you idiot, but then it all paid off, and just like we can't fault him for something that, you know, the girl ultimately appreciated.
Yeah, some of us might call it cringy, some of us might call it creepy, but some of us might call it endearing and charming because he never gave up on the one girl he was after and he ultimately prevailed. But I would say Sehun is the main character of the show because he was responsible for all of us feeling all of those emotions, from hate to love to excitement to just ultimately happiness because he won at the very end. He was definitely the star of the show.
But that'll do it for our top 5 ranking of the contestants of Singles Inferno. Please don't forget to leave your own ranking in the comments section. We would love to know who you thought was your top 5. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe for more videos, like it, hit the bell icon, turn on notifications. But as always, this is what we're watching this Sunday. We'll see you next time.
난 그대만 보이네요. 밤하늘의 별도 밝게 비춘 달도 그대 앞에 빛을 잃어요. 감당할 수 없는 마음들이 날 힘들게 해요. 잘못한 관계없이